This month's Iran Case File report examines the following three areas: domestic, Arab, and international affairs. Each area is subdivided into files reflecting key developments that have taken place over the month of October. Domestic affairs. Khamenei calls for Iran to utilize its scientific expertise. This comes as Iran faces crises that threaten its government. Cracks appear within Rouhani's inner circle, as Vice President Eshaq Jahangiri expresses his frustrations. His remarks come as Rouhani grants Mahmoud Vaezi, his chief of staff, more powers. Jahangiri has on more than one occasion threatened to quit his post, and it seems his frustrations have increased, as Rouhani has ignored his suggestions, such as changing his economic team. The kidnapping of 14 military personnel near the Pakistani border by Jaish al-Adl dealt a blow to Iran's self-confidence, as it is still recovering from the attack on its military parade in Awaz last month. Iran is known to use illegal means to export oil, such as smuggling, and hiding its oil tankers from tanker tracking radars. Arab affairs. Iran is expected to exploit the S-300 missile system by transferring arms to its militias and forces in Syria and to Hezbollah in Lebanon. However, Russian protection of Iranian forces is conditional and non-permanent. Iran's expansion of influence in Syria has been halted, as the US has linked the withdrawal of its forces to the retreat of Iranian militias and forces. Iran announced choosing Barham Salih as president of Iraq, and also declared picking Adel Abdelmahdi for Prime Minister. Iran will continue to track Abdelmahdi's position towards US sanctions against Iran and his rapprochement towards Saudi Arabia. Russia's success in deploying the S-300 missile system in Syria has shifted the balance of power in favor of the Iranian-Russian alliance. US officials have indicated the need to end the war in Yemen by forcing the Houthis to negotiate with the Yemeni legitimate government. This is to end the suffering of the Yemeni people, especially after reports confirming that half of the Yemeni people are on the verge of famine. International affairs. It is clear that the US is aware that the oil sanctions will not bear fruit immediately. In light of this, it is possible to understand why the US granted some exemptions on imports of oil from Iran. These sanctions are a test of the seriousness of the US, its position, and ability to influence state behavior. The ability of the US to apply the maximum degree of pressure via sanctions will be a key determinant of Iran's future behavior. Russia is exerting efforts to mitigate the impact of US sanctions on Iran by signing oil deals with it. Russia and Iran are working to export Iranian oil to Russia via the Caspian Sea, in return for selling its oil to Iran and the refining of Iranian oil in its refineries. The Europeans aim to develop a special purpose vehicle, SPV, to process Iran's import and export payments, as US sanctions hit Iran's energy sector. What the SPV will look like is unclear. However, the Europeans have said the SPV could be operational very soon. The head of the Central Bank of Iran expects no serious catastrophe with the activation of sanctions targeting its energy sector, citing the aftermath of the first package of sanctions. However, others believe that the growth will plummet compared to the first half of the year. This may affect internal stability, especially as the crisis may affect the value of Iran's currency and the interests of the middle class. Iran is now depending on Europeans of Iranian origin in its assassination program. A Norwegian citizen of Iranian origin planned to assassinate an Awazi opposition figure on Danish soil. And in another separate incident, Iranian intelligence personnel were successful in assassinating the Awazi opposition figure Ahmed Molanesi in the Netherlands.